Happy Pride Month! Queens Public Library continues its ongoing commitment to promote queer liberation and representation across our borough and beyond. We will be highlighting LGBTQ+ titles, including banned books, sharing knowledge and stories through our programming, and so much more. Everyone is welcome at Queens Public Library, and we are here for you. For more information, visit queenslib.org/pride22. Summer reading kicks off this month. Visit summerreading.queenslibrary.org for our full summer reading program schedule, book lists for all ages, and other resources to keep your kids engaged and learning all summer long. Juneteenth celebrates the end of slavery in the United States. Check out our reading lists and join us for in-person and virtual programs to learn more about this important day in U.S. history. Visit our website for more information. The best way to fight book banning is to read banned books. We are joining forces with Brooklyn Public Library and the New York Public Library to take a stand against censorship with the NYC Banned Books Challenge. 10 banned or challenged books that expert librarians recommend New Yorkers borrow and read. Visit our website to learn more.
Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays. I'm Christopher Galarza, Queens Public Library's Community Health Educator. Today, we welcome back Dr. Naika, who is a trailblazing naturopathic practitioner, acupuncturist, and herbalist based in New York City, for her third and final installment of this series. We have enjoyed having her here so much. Please note the views expressed are those of the speaker alone and not of the library. Participants should consult with their physicians before undertaking any exercise, nutrition, or health improvement program. Thank you for joining us, and please welcome Dr. Naika.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for the introduction. Christopher, thank you to the Queens Public Library for having me again. Welcome to the third and final workshop. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Hi, I'm Dr. Naika. Today is a purely experiential workshop. So I wanted to do a little recap of Wellness Wednesdays so we could reflect on where we've been and we will land on where we are today. So here is today's flow. In the first workshop, we talked about the foundations of health. So digestion, immunity, sleep, stress management, mental and emotional health. And then in the second workshop, we took a deep dive into actual recipes based in mindful nutrition and herbal medicine that could support you at home. And based off of the feedback that I got after that workshop, you all really liked it and you had so much fun creating your own concoctions at home. And then today is all about experiencing mindfulness together. So I really want to emphasize that it's important that you showed up here to actually participate. Otherwise, you're just going to kind of be watching me breathe and count. So I'm hoping that you are ready to dive into the actual exercises. So I'll start off with an overview of meditation and breath work, and then we'll spend about 30 minutes going through actual exercises. I'll give you an introduction to each exercise so you could know what we're doing, what it's all about. And then for about 2 minutes, we are going to do the exercises together. I'll start off, kind of leading you and counting with you for about a minute. And then the last 30 seconds to a minute will be self-guided. It'll be all you. And I will be here to ding when it is time to wrap up. And then, as always, there will be a brief Q&A at the end. In case you're not aware, I can't actually see your comments as they roll in, but QPL will send them to me, and I will definitely be able to review all of them at the end. So if anything comes up for you that you want to chat about, definitely let me know in the comments. Quickly want to address a little elephant in the room. I am recovering from a bit of a cold. So for those of you who heard me in the first 2 workshops, if you hear that my voice is a little nasally, that's what's going on. But I am well. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to breathe with you. So let's get started. So I wanted to contextualize today's experiential mindfulness within the context of mind, body, spirit wellness. This is a paradigm that I introduced in workshop 1, where we talked about the different elements of wellness. So mental, emotional, physical, communal, psychological, financial, all the different elements of wellness. And we talked about mental health care, the importance of, getting outside, having supportive relationships, mindful movement, nutrition, sleep, etc. And so I feel that today's mindful practices fit within the context of mind, body, spirit wellness. These are practical tools that you could use in your everyday life. And my intention is that you will resonate with at least one of these exercises, remember it and carry it with you throughout your days. So what is mindfulness? Everything's in flux and everything kind of depends on your interpretation of it. But I found these definitions that resonated with me. So I hope that they resonate with you. So mindfulness is all about intentionally paying attention to your present moment experience in a non-judgmental and non-reactive way. And I think the non-judgmental and non-reactive pieces are the most important. How often do you have thoughts or experience emotions, and then you have additional thoughts and emotions on top of them, and it just kind of is this domino effect of usually unpleasantness. So I feel like mindfulness helps to interrupt that destructive pattern and brings us back to our core and back to our center. Mindfulness is also about perceiving without comparison or evaluation, which is super hard to do in this day and age, especially with social media, especially for our youngsters out there. Mindfulness is also about openness and acceptance of the present moment just as it is. So today we'll be focusing on mindfulness through meditation and breath work. But I want to emphasize here that you could infuse mindfulness into anything that you do, into how you speak to yourself and speak to others, how you move about, your workday, how you prepare meals for yourself, how you take care of other people. So today we'll focus on meditation and breath work. So what is meditation? Again, so many different definitions out there, but this is the one that I landed on. Meditation is intentional self-inquiry, self-observation, self-realization, and self-regulation. And it's important to note that there are so many different kinds of meditation. I feel like a lot of people get intimidated by meditation because, they think that you have to be a master right away, that you could, sit cross-legged and not have any invasive thoughts and just kind of, vibe out for 30 minutes. That's not what meditation has to be. You could do walking meditations, guided meditations, body scan meditations, which we're going to do today, etc. So many different types. The benefits of meditation are many, but here are the ones that I wanted to highlight today. So meditation decreases psychological stress. It alleviates anxiety and depression. It can relieve pain. It lowers blood pressure. It improves sleep, enhances creativity, improves a person's ability to cope. So I think, in other words, it helps with resilience, which is really important. Meditation enhances attention regulation and allows you to connect with yourself, to slow down, observe thought patterns, and develop a more intimate relationship with your mind and your emotions. And meditation also offers you a chance to silence out all the outside noise. Now, what is breath work? Breath work is the intentional regulation of your breath in a conscious and systematic way. And just like meditation, there are so many different types of breath work depending on your intention. So there's breath work to calm you down. There's breath work that athletes tend to lean on to help their pulmonary function, etc. And here are some benefits of breath work. Breath work improves cardiovascular and respiratory functions. It could treat anxiety. It decreases sympathetic activity, which we've covered before. Sympathetic and parasympathetic are the two main parts of the nervous system. So sympathetic is also known as fight or flight, in case you've heard of that. And then parasympathetic is known as rest and digest. Breath work, like meditation, decreases stress and strain on the body. It improves mental and physical health. It boosts immunity. It decreases chronic pain. It can also boost clarity and enhance focus. And I do want to make note here that I am a pretty science-based practitioner. So I want to emphasize that you could find some beautiful research out there in case you are also a scientific or research-minded person. It's great that, this is, all good for mind, body, spirit, and relaxation, but it's incredible how many amazing studies are out there. So I encourage you to look them up. But I just wanted to highlight a couple of those benefits here. Now let's talk about the similarities and differences between meditation and breathwork, because they definitely fall under the umbrella of mindfulness, but they're a little bit different from each other. So how are they similar? Meditation and breathwork both bring you to the present. They evoke mindfulness. They can improve cardiovascular and pulmonary function. So that's your heart and your lungs, in case you're not familiar with those words. They can both decrease stress and anxiety. And they both encourage a sense of connection to yourself. And here's how meditation and breathwork differ kind of in a nutshell. Meditation is more about quieting the mind and encouraging you to focus on the sensations and thoughts that you experience in an observational and non-judgmental way. It's probably the third time I've said that today. And then breathwork involves the active and intentional change of breath to induce various states of being, ranging from calm and relaxation to enhance focus and energy, just depending on what type of breath work that you do. So we're going to explore a bunch of different kinds today. So now it is time to actually do the exercises. What I would like for you to do today, right now, is to check in with yourself and just assess how you're feeling right now in this moment. It could be helpful to use a scale. I'm a big fan of scales with my patients. So 1 could be absolute peace, serenity, calm, you're chilling, and not a worry in the world. And 10, which I'm sincerely hoping you're not feeling right now, is, absolute panic, terror, and fright. So those are the extremes. So what I'd love for you to do is rate yourself somewhere in there. If you feel comfortable sharing or you feel compelled to share your number, you could definitely drop it in the comments. It might be nice to see where you and others are at right now. Again, so that you could compare how you feel by the end, because I could almost guarantee you're going to feel as close to 1 as possible. If I could rate myself right now, I would say I'm about like a 2 or 3, just because I'm kind of on right now presenting to you all. I want to make sure that I hold space. And I think that I'll be closer to a 1 myself by the end of this. So some important notes as we move through today. Do what makes you comfortable. I can't see you, in case you didn't know. You're probably by yourself right now. No one else could see you. Do what makes you feel comfortable. I also encourage you to take it slow, especially if you have never done meditation or breathwork before. Do your thing. If 2 minutes feels like too much for you, just do a minute. And don't be afraid to take a break during the exercises, because it's going to be a lot of breathing. And it's important to note that you should stop if you feel lightheaded, especially if you are newer to breathwork. And then I always encourage that you drink water in between exercises. I have my cold busting tea right here that I'm going to be sipping on, and I encourage you to sip as well, just to help encourage, the flow of everything. All right, so let's get started. The first exercise is square breathing. This is probably the simplest one, and if you have dibble-dabbled into mindfulness, you've most likely come across this exercise. I want to make note here, especially as an anthropologist, that it's so important to respect, the cultures and traditions of folks who actually created these practices. So square breathing is an interpretation of an Ayurvedic or an ancient Indian healing practice called Sama Vritti Pranayama, and pranayama refers to a breathing technique. So what is square breathing? It's a simple yet powerful breathing exercise that refers to the four sides of a box. The key word is four, so you're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold for 4. Square breathing is really great for lowering stress, transitioning into sleep, regulating your breath, and increasing your lung capacity. So how you do this, I'm going to walk you through it again. Where should you do this? So most of these exercises are going to be best when you're seated. So that could be, at your chair, your desk, your bed, on the ground. Some of these exercises are also great lying down. It's really up to you, but I think if this is your first time, especially if you're in the middle of your workday, seated at your desk is perfectly fine. When do you do square breathing? Honestly, anytime that you need to. I did a little square breathing earlier this morning. It's also great for when you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, and stressed, or if you just want a quick way to reground. So I'm going to demonstrate this for you. So I'm going to inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold for 4. So 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So I hope that you could get what I was doing. Again, I'm going to walk you through it. So get yourself all comfortable. I am pulling out my phone right now to use the timer. Again, we're going to be doing each exercise for about 2 minutes. All right. So let's get started. So you're going to exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Then exhale. 2, 3, 4. Keep holding your exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Then exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold that exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. Then exhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold that exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold that inhale. 2, 3, 4. Now exhale. 2, 3, 4. Continue holding that exhale. 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. And hold the inhale. 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold that exhale. 3, 4. For the next 25 minutes, you just keep doing it yourself. 20 seconds. And we're going to bring it to a close. Okay. So that is our first exercise, square breathing. It's probably the simplest one out of all of these. So I really hoped that you got something out of it. Check in with how you're feeling. And this would be a great time to take a sip of water if you have some in front of you. Now we're transitioning to the second exercise, which is called Ujjayi breathing, also known as victorious breath. This is also based off of Ayurvedic medicine. So what is the Ujjayi breath? This is a technique that focuses on controlling your breath using inhales and exhales through your nose. So you're going to make a forceful sound like that of an ocean wave when you breathe out. You may be thinking, how do I do this when my mouth is closed and I'm breathing through my nose? And the trick is to kind of squeeze your throat and make the sound come out of your throat. And again, I'll demonstrate it for you so that you could have a sense of what it's like. But essentially, you're just breathing in and out through your nose and making a sound as you breathe out. Why do you do Ujjayi breathing? To relax the body, to soothe the nervous system, and to calm your mind. Where do you do this? So ideally, you'll do this in a quiet and private space, just so that the noise that you make with the exhale isn't super disruptive to others, and you could just kind of do your thing in peace. When do you do this? Personally, I like doing this midday. It's sort of energizing, even though it's relaxing to the body. I just find that it helps with mental clarity. This is a very common breathing exercise that you would do prior to yoga, before a nerve-wracking activity such as a presentation or a speech or, a game or a date, whatever you define as nerve-wracking. So yeah, during moments of anxiety or frustration where you just kind of need to release some energy. And I think that's a really beautiful concept that you could use both the breath and the voice, the throat, to release that energy. So that's the point of the ocean wave sound. So I'm going to demonstrate this for you. I'm hoping that you could hear the sound that I make in my throat. Let's see how this goes. So again, I'm going to take an inhale through my nose and an exhale through my nose while making an ocean wave or sort of snoring like sound in the back of my throat. So really hoping that you all could hear that. So once again, get in a comfortable position, get prepared to start. I am going to breathe with you for about a minute. And then for the last 30 seconds to a minute, you're going to do it all by yourself. Okay, so we're going to get started. 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. 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 Now you're going to continue on your own for about 45 seconds. Inhale and exhale. And continue. Got about 20 seconds left. Nice work. About 5 seconds left. And you could bring that to a close. Once again, check in with how you're feeling. I don't know what it was about that one, but I'm definitely down from a 3 to a 2. Really relaxing. Again, I think there's something about making that ocean wave sound in the throat that helps relieve any pent-up stress or anxiety. Once again, this would be a good time to take a sip of water if you have it in front of you. Now we're going to transition to the next exercise. Welcome to 4-7-8 breathing. I kind of think of this one as the next level of square breathing. And it's a relaxing breathwork exercise that involves breathing through your nose and your mouth. Unlike Ujjayi breathing, which was both inhaling and exhaling through your nose, 4-7-8 combines the breathing through your nostrils and your mouth. So why do you do 4-7-8 breathing? To relieve anxiety, to regulate your breath, to come back to the present and focus, to relax the body, and to transition to sleep. Where do you do this? Again, in the seated position would be awesome. You could also do this lying down, especially because this is a great exercise to do before bed. So when do you do this? Before bed, but also anytime that you need to, just like all the other exercises when you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, and stressed, or you want a quick way to reground. So you're going to do this by breathing in through your nose for 4 seconds, holding that breath for 7 seconds, and then exhaling through your mouth for 8 seconds. So this one, again, is a bit more intense than square breathing, because in square breathing, we're just working with the number 4. This one involves, longer holds and a longer exhale. So once again, as a reminder, do what feels comfortable for you. You're also welcome to switch up the ratios if 4-7-8, feels too intimidating once you start it. But if you can, try and do it the whole way. So I'm going to demonstrate it for you. I'm going to breathe in my nose for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8. So that's how you do it. And in case it looks like I didn't hold for the full time, it's kind of because I didn't, because I do have that cold. But I'm going to try my best to keep up with this as it says on the screen. But for you, definitely try and do 4-7-8. All right, so get into a comfortable position, and we start in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now all you. Breathe in. Hold. Exhale. And continue on yourself. And final one. And let's bring that to a close. Once again, take a moment to check in with how you're feeling. How is this exercise different from the others? Did you notice anything shift for you? And this would be a great time to take a sip of water. Okay, welcome to our next exercise. This is alternate nostril breathing, also known as Nadi Shodhana Pranayama. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw, I think it was my last reel where I demonstrated this. This is one of my favorite exercises. I do this one pretty much every day. This is really great for if you're somebody who has to alternate between sort of left brain tasks and right brain tasks. Or if you are somebody who has a job that is both creative and maybe artistic and imaginative, but also sometimes is a bit more nitty-gritty and scientific and task-oriented. So alternate nostril breathing manipulates airflow through your nostrils to essentially create a sense of balance. Why do you do this? So to enhance focus, once again, to balance out left and right brain activity, to support concentration, to enhance mental clarity, and to improve endurance. So for all of my athletes out there or people who enjoy exercise, this one is a great one for you. Where do you do this? So ideally somewhere private as usual, and definitely seated. Traditionally, we do this in the morning. You could also do it as sort of a midday pick you up, or to close your work day. So when you're transitioning between work and home. Again, when you're transitioning between creative and analytic tasks, and when you're feeling frazzled. So I want to put your attention to the image on the bottom right, and that illustrates what I was speaking about earlier. So the difference between the left and the right brain. So traditionally, left brain is about logic, science, sense of time, language, learning, whereas right brain is more about creativity, art, intuition, imagination. So out of all of the exercises, this one, will most likely take you a bit of time to get used to. So maybe we'll do 3 minutes instead of 2. But I promise once you get the hang out of it, it'll be so much more intuitive. So what you're going to do is breathe in through one nostril, then breathe out through the other nostril. Then you're going to breathe in through that same nostril that you just breathed out of, and then you're going to breathe out the other. So that's where the name alternate comes from. Traditionally, we'll use our thumb on one nostril and either our ring finger and pinky finger on the other nostril and alternate. But for the purposes of demonstration, I'm just going to be using my 2 index fingers so you could see me really clearly. And when all else fails, don't hesitate to just look at the PowerPoint for support with what to do, just in case you get lost. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate it for you now. So I'm going to start actually breathing in through my left. Now I'm going to speak a bit, just in case you can't quite tell what I'm doing. So I'm breathing in through my left, and then out through my right, then in through my right, and out through my left. That's how you do alternate nostril breathing. So get comfortable. I'm going to start my timer. And let's do about 3 minutes. All right, so we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Switch. Breathe out. Breathe in. switch, breathe out. Breathe in, 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 switch, breathe out. Now all you. Got about 30 seconds left. Just continue if you feel comfortable. About 10 seconds left. Now we're going to bring that to a close. Nice work. That was the longest one that we've done today, 3 minutes long. You want to take note of how you're feeling. How was this breathing exercise different from the others? For example, you might be feeling a bit more energized and clear-minded as opposed to super zen and relaxed, or maybe not, or maybe you feel a combination of the two. It's always good to take note of how you feel. So this would be a great time to take a sip of water. We're going to transition to the next exercise. Now we're moving on into meditation territory. When I was preparing for this workshop, I thought about all the different options that we had, and I decided that I wanted to kind of expand your mind a little bit beyond what you may think of as classic meditation. That's something that I talked about in the beginning. Meditation isn't just about sitting in silence and quieting your mind. It could be a bit more active, and there's so much diversity. So I want to introduce you to a very special one, and it's called EFT tapping meditation. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it is a psychology-informed form of acupressure that creates a balance in your energy field and eases emotional distress by intentionally tapping on points. So basically, psychologists created this system, and it's a combination of psychology and acupuncture. And you may recall, I am an acupuncturist, a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. So I do have a special relationship to this exercise because the points that are featured are actual acupuncture points. So I thought that was really cool and wanted to kind of introduce you to that world. So EFT was created essentially to help patients move through PTSD, which stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. I want to emphasize that this is in combination with therapy with a licensed practitioner. It's also meant to help you regroup after a triggering experience. Really amazing scientific studies have also shown that EFT tapping could actually decrease pain. And that actually makes a lot of sense from an acupuncture perspective, since acupuncture can support pain management. And EFT tapping helps you to come back to your body after dissociating. And dissociation is actually a very common trauma response. After we've undergone a very triggering, shocking, or traumatic event. So that's the intention of EFT. Where do you do this? So definitely somewhere safe and private. Out of all of the exercises, this one, it's the most important to do it in that state, especially if you're doing it after an acute trauma. And you could do this while seated or lying down. When do you do this? Any time of day, but especially when you're feeling anxious, triggered, or disconnected from your body. Personally, I tend to use this when I feel like I've been a little too much in my head. Maybe certain negative recurring thoughts are coming up, and I just want to connect to the wisdom of my body. So that's why I use EFT, and you'll decide why you'd like to use it. This one, similarly to alternate nostril breathing, is a little bit more complex than, let's say, square breathing. So I'm going to talk you through it. The first thing that you're going to do is to create a positive affirmation for yourself. For example, I am safe and loved. I am special and important. I connect to my body and inner wisdom. I release stress and anxiety, whatever feels natural and intuitive to you. And the point of this is that this mantra essentially will help keep you grounded to a higher and deeper truth. So while you say these positive affirmations to yourself, you're going to tap on specific EFT points. Traditionally, you do this 7 times, but honestly, do whatever you want. You could tap as many times as you like. I tend to do more than 7. And so you're going to tap on these points while you're repeating your positive affirmations to yourself. You're welcome to say them out loud, but you could also say it to yourself. That's fine. And the key here is to rate your emotional intensity on a scale of 0 to 10 before the exercise and after, because once again, I want to emphasize that this is a psychology-informed technique that was created specifically for PTSD. So psychologists actually want to see tangible relief, after a patient does this exercise. So you already have your rating from the beginning, but if anything has shifted for you after doing all of these exercises, re-rate yourself before and then after. So now I'm going to tap through the points so you can see what it's actually going to look like. And once again, if you forget or for some reason you can't see me fully, just refer to the EFT tapping chart. Okay, so top of the head, it's right at the top of the head. The eyebrow point is at the edge of your eyebrow. Sometimes I like to do the center of my eyebrows, because that's another acupressure point. So I'll leave it up to you to decide which one. But the traditional eyebrow point is right here. And then the side of the eye, right here. And then under the eye, right here. Under the nose, here. At the chin, right here. The edge of your collarbone, right underneath. This next one is awkward, under your arm. And then the side of your hand, kind of right under your knuckle, and then to the side, right here. And then the gamut point is in between your ring finger and your pinky finger, right here. Once again, these are all acupuncture points, which I think is pretty cool. So I'd like you to take a few seconds to come up with the positive affirmation that you are going to say to yourself throughout this exercise. And we're going to be here for about 2 minutes. With this one, it's actually not as important to follow me because you're welcome to tap each point as quickly or as often as you'd like. But I'm going to be doing this with you for about a minute, and then you're going to be on your own for the last minute. Okay, so we're going to start in 3, 2, 1. And don't forget to say your positive affirmations to yourself, friends. Positive affirmations, you are just reaffirming your truth to yourself and sort of calming yourself down. I feel like that one went by fast. I'm going to bring that to a close. I'm going to give you a couple seconds to finish out, especially if you're at like 4 or 5. Work yourself through the last few points. And check in with how you're feeling. I know that that one is really different from the breath work. It was our first non-breath work exercise. How did that go for you? What did you think about it? Do you feel more connected to your body? Great time to take a sip of water. All right, so now this is our final exercise of the day. This is a body scan meditation exercise. This is one that I personally do pretty much every single day. It's wonderful. Body scanning is a form of progressive relaxation that reduces tension, invites self-awareness, and encourages your reconnection to your body. Body scans can be guided or self-led. Why do you do this? To relax, to improve self-awareness, to connect to your physical self, to promote sleep. Where do you do this? In a quiet and calm environment, ideally, seated or lying down. And when do you do this? You could do this anytime you'd like, anytime you feel like you'd like to tune into your body, but it might be especially nice in the evening before bed. A little bit of a personal story here. I went camping this past weekend, actually where I caught a little bit of a cold. And the person I was camping with is a snorer. And I had a lot of trouble sleeping because I'm a light sleeper. And after maybe half an hour of frustration, because when you're fixated on something that is negative or disruptive, it kind of tends to take over your mind, right? You just can't get your mind on anything else. So I found that I was so fixated on his snoring that it was preventing me from sleeping. So what I did was I went to my mindfulness toolbox, which I use all the time, and I said, what can I do to help me reconnect to my body and kind of get out of my mind so that I could sleep? because I deserve sleep. So what I did was this body scan meditation. And I promise you, after about a few minutes, I don't think I even got down to my tummy area. I was knocked out. Next thing I know, it was morning. So I wanted to share that very concrete example with you, just so you could think of ways that you could use these exercises. Other ideas could be, when you're sitting in traffic, during your commute, right before a work meeting, anything really. These exercises could bring you back to yourself. So body scan meditations could be any length of time. They could be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, up to 10 minutes. I'm gonna time ours for about 5 minutes, just so we can have enough time for Q&A at the end. Just like all the other exercises, you're welcome to remain seated. But if you are able to lie down, so let's say you're in your home right now, I would really recommend that for this exercise, because I think it'll just kind of hit a bit deeper, okay? So I'm going to give you some time to settle into your position, especially if it's a new position. I'm not going to use a timer for this one because I'm going to be helping you kind of scan through your body. All right. So let's take a moment to settle into your position. You're welcome to close your eyes or keep them ever so slightly open. I recommend keeping them closed so you could fully relax. You're going to start by taking a full breath in and a longer breath out. Another deep breath in and a deep breath out. Begin by bringing your attention into your body, not the outside world, not the outside noise, but actually in your body. Notice the feeling of the weight of your body on the chair, or the bed, or the floor, wherever you are. How does your body feel? How relaxed are you? As you breathe, notice how your chest and abdomen expand to allow the air to enter your lungs. We breathe all day, every day, but how often do we take notice of the process of breathing? Feel the air move in and out of your lungs, and make note of what sensations you're aware of. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Bring some awareness to the stillness and notice a sense of relaxing even more deeply. Bring your attention to the top of your head. Notice any sensations that you might be feeling on your scalp. Maybe an itch is popping up. Maybe some tightness. Maybe you never make note of what you're feeling on your scalp. Now bring your attention down the back of your head, to the sides, and now to your face. Bring your attention to your jaw. Notice if you're feeling any tension in your jaw, any pain. So many of us grind our teeth or clench our jaws in moments of tension and stress and anxiety. Take a moment to release your jaw. Let your face be soft. Give it a break from all of the facial expressions that you make. Relax the muscles around your eyes and your mouth. Be completely relaxed. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now notice your neck and your throat. Let them be soft for once. How many of us experience neck and shoulder tension or feeling of a lump in our throat or an itchy throat, especially during allergy season? Just take a note of them and let them be soft. Notice your shoulders and your arms. Feel any sensations as you allow the tension to move from your shoulders down to your upper arms, to your elbow, to your forearms, down to your wrists, your hands, and your fingers. Notice the sensations. Notice the feeling of the fabric of your clothing against your skin. We wear our clothes, but do we ever take some time to notice how they feel on our skin? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now I'd like you to bring your attention to your chest. Feel the movement of up and down in your chest as you breathe. Connect to your heart space. Does your heart need any attention? Now bring your attention to your stomach. So many of us carry anxiety and stress in our stomachs. Notice if your stomach is tense or tight. And if it is, just let it soften. Now I'd like you to pay attention to your upper back. And slowly bring your awareness down to your lower back. So many of us hold tension in our lower backs, especially because we sit all day. If you're holding any tension there, breathe into that space and let it release. Now continue traveling your awareness down to your legs. Down to your thighs. Now down to your knees, your calves, and your shin. Now bring your awareness down to your ankles. This is a part of our body that we probably never think about. How do your ankles feel carrying all the weight of you every single day? Now continue going downward and bring your attention to your feet, another area we tend to neglect. Notice the sensations of your feet on the ground, on the bed. How does it feel to connect to your feet? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As we bring this practice to a close, I'd like you to take notice of your entire body. How do you feel? How does it feel to give all the parts of your body some love and attention, especially the parts that we tend to neglect? I'd like you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now slowly wiggle your toes and your fingers. Do a little shimmy and shake. And slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. How do you feel? How do you feel compared to the beginning of the workshop You're welcome to use the same scale that we used in the beginning, 1 being absolute relaxation, peace, and tranquility, and 10 being absolute panic, terror, and fright. Personally, I'm at about a 1.5, and I hope that you are as close to that as possible. I thank you for your time, your presence, and your attention. I went a little bit over what I wanted to, but for anyone who wants to stick around for a Q&A, you are welcome to. I have my contact information on the screen. You're welcome to visit my website to learn a bit more about me and the work I do. You're always invited to email me, to check in, and you could connect with me further on social media. Okay, so for anyone who has anything to say, I am here, and we could hang out for a couple minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Naika. While we wait to see if there's any questions, I just want to say thank you for bringing attention to, like everyday things that we do, especially when it comes to breathing. I am a singer, and one of the things we always practice every day is breathing, because we really don't know how to breathe, quote unquote. Finding that expansion in our lower back through the diaphragm. And so it was really nice for us to bring that to our community. And I just want to say thank you.
My pleasure, Christopher. My pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for showing up.
So it looks like no questions, but lots of thank yous and excellent presentations.
Okay. Awesome. Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah, so if there's no questions, you could always contact Dr. Naika. She put her information on the PowerPoint. And thank you so much for joining us, and come back to our next Wellness Wednesdays. Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.